Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today actually I visit this visioalgo.net website, and here I see multiple short algorithms are here where we can analyze or visualize the sorting algorithm, how sorting algorithm works. So I select the bubble short, and when I click on this short form, so you can see how the algorithms works, and they show the visualizations by use of animation. So I thought how we can make this kind of app functionality in our Qt application by use of Qt widget controls and Qt QML or Qt animations control, of course. So now let's try to make this kind of functionality in our Qt widget application by use of Qt animation and some Qt widget controls like labels and etc. So now let's try. So first of all, we have to include some required header files like Qt core for Qt animation and Qt GUI control also, and also include the Qt widgets. Okay, now let's create the some random elements. So we use the bubble shot and generate some elements for it. So now let's create the array for the elements. So I see, let's say write the data elements, and I define the total number of elements. Let's create the 10 elements. Okay, now let's create the or generate the random numbers by use of random generator. Okay, now here we let's add the one button control for short algorithm. So call I add the button, remove the status bar and menu bar from it. We don't need this. So let's set the point and write here just simple text. Okay, button short. Apply some font property like 15 and bold, and change here some height and width also. Let's make it 50. Okay, now just a minute, here we have to set here some height. Height is 800 is good, and width is kind of this is enough. Okay, now let's create the elements. So here we use the for loop, integer I equal to 0 and I less than total number of elements and I plus plus. Okay, so now let's create the here we have to take a value, integer value as a random generator, and get bound. So let's get the value between our 0 to our application height. Okay, because we also have to create the labels for it to visualize the algorithm. So assign the data elements of I equal to this value. Okay, we have to assign the memory for this data element array, total number of elements. Okay, so I assign the elements array and get the value and assign the value for it here. Okay, now let's create the function for bubble shot. So just simply write the bubble shot function. So where we pass the elements and size of the array, Okay, now as you all know how how to implement the bubble sort function or how to write the logic for it. So I just simply write the size of the array -1 I plus plus, and now create the loop for j. This is the simple logic we all learn about in our college academic career. So here j is also 0 minus I. Okay, now swap, compare and swap. If my element of I is greater than my element of j plus 1. So simply just swap the element. So I use the standard function swap and pass the both element. Okay, and j plus 1. Okay, so this is the simple functionality of the bubble sort algorithm, and just simply call this function on our short button, click event, and pass the our data elements and total number of elements. So this is the basic functionality as all we know, but we have to visualize this algorithm, okay, by use of the Qt control and animation. So here we have to create the elements for our data visualization. So let's create the Q list of Q label. Okay, so data will be elements. Okay, so we use the labels for the create the GUI. So here we create the dynamic label control, Q label. Equal to new Q label. Okay, we have to set here some style sheet for it. Set style sheet. So let's apply this some basic style sheet, Q label. Okay, so write the background color. Set the background color as RGB black background color. Okay, it would be a great. Now let's set the object name. So just simply I write the object name as LBL element of number of I plus 1. Okay, just push this element in our list of element. So dot append this element for label element. Okay, here we have to set the size and width also. So now let's set the size and width also, or also geometry or frame size also. So let us first set a frame shape. Okay, so Q frame, let's set a frame as a panel. Okay, panel style, set word wrap or set a parent is this, and also we have to set the set visible property as a true. Okay, you can also set the some text. So for that you can set the word wrap property also. So we here do not need to set the some text also. So just simply set the word wrap property if you want to set the text also. So now here we have to set this at minimum size and maximum size. So set a minimum size, or also set the some maximum size. Maximum size. Okay, So I have to define some uh, position of our elements. So the initial position is x is 10. Define the some width property of label width is 20, and define the height. So height is basically according our UI size. So here we set the height according it. So here we provide the minimum width and maximum width is the height, and we change the height value here because we get the height value from this random value, and assign the height value in our data element also, and same property apply for the maximum size. Okay, now here we have to set the geometry of location of our element. So set a geometry. So define x plus, here we have to define the new property, y property. So let's set the y property is my application height minus my element height. Okay, and now set the width property and height property. Okay, and here we have to change the position for next element. So next element is our x plus width, x equal to x plus width. Okay, so our elements are ready to display and our data elements is also ready for sort. Now let's run the application and check it first. Wait for the build. So you can see the elements are ready or displayed here. So these 10 elements are displayed. So let's change the value. Number of elements is let's set the 30. Okay, now let's run the application. So you can see the elements. If you want to display some space between the two elements, so just simply add the 5 where 5 plus 5 space also, which is just save the next 5 pixel from the our application. So you can see the difference between the two elements. So currently I just remove this space, and this is the bubble shot. Now here we have to also move or also swap the our data elements, label elements also. So now let's create the some simple function for it, for the swap UI element, swap element. Here we have to provide the index ing, because we swap the index between ing. You can see in the bubble shot function I just will change the element of j and j plus 1. Okay, so here I just provide the two indexes, and here we have to also rearrange our UI elements. So arrange elements. Okay, so first of all let's create the arrange element function. Now let's create the body definition of our swap element function. So now let's write the code for the swap element. Here we have to swap the two label elements. So now first of all we have to get the points of the our both labels. So pos 1 is equal to our label elements of I of pos. Okay, also we get the label element label 2 pos element. Now here we have to set the style sheet for it. Okay, so we can visualize that which elements are swapping between each other. So now let's set the simple style sheet, not more than simple style sheet. Use just simply copy this code and apply here. and change the color as let's set the color green color. Okay, for initial, and set the red color for the second element. Okay, so here just provide the index ing. Okay, so now here we have to provide the some animation of our each element. So now let's create the property animation. Property animation, because we change the property of our label elements. So here we have to use the property animation of 1 equal to new cube property animation. Here we have to provide which object we are using to apply animation. So here we pass the element 1 and property name here. So I set the post property. Okay, and same for the second animation. So here just change the index ing. Okay, so now here we have to set the animation property sum like a start value. So what is the start value of our animation is default post 1, and what is the end value of our animation 1 is a label 2. Set end value. So we change the we move the post 1 from the post 2 to post 2, and for the same for animation 2 we change the post 2 to post 1. Okay, just simply we can set duration. So it is a time, how many millisecond you want to run this animation. So now let's simply run this animation for 100 millisecond, and for this animation 2 also we have to run this both animation at same time. So for that we use parallel animation group. So here I just change the group, set the object name as a group. Just we have to add the animation in our group. So add animation 1 and animation 2, and start the animation. So here we provide the some property or set the property also. So abstract animation delete when stop. So when our animation is finished, so this will automatically dispose your object. Now let's create one more function to update the UI. Same here, pass ing here also. Now let's create the definition of this function. So we call this swap element function here. Pass here ing. So our element will swapped, and here we have to also swap the data elements also, labels also, because here we just change the position of, not change the address. So here I just provide ing. Okay, now just simply call the rearrange function here also. And we call this update UI function here. Here we pass the j and j plus 1. Okay, here we have to also add the a timer to wait until the animation is finished. So now let's create the one event loop, queue event loop. Queue event loop. So create the one loop to wait for the finish. Queue timer single shot. So wait for that 150 millisecond, because these both animation are running parallelly, and we set here 100 millisecond delay for it. So here we wait the next 50 millisecond for it, so until the loop finish. So queue event loop white. Okay, and now execute the loop. Execute. Okay, now here we have to also rearrange the element because we swapped the element position. So here we also set the rearrange the our elements. So now simply just use the for integer total number of elements and I plus plus. So simply get the first of all your geolocation of your elements of I geometry, and same position was of also apply. Also we have to reset the style sheet of that element. So just simply copy this line and change the object name here. Okay, so our control is also reset. Now let's set the geometry. What is the geo? So x will be same. Here we just have to change the height. So height was our application height minus our geo element height. Width is also same, geo width and geo height. Now let's run the application and check it, the magic. Let's build the application first. Now let's run the application. Now let's sort the call the sort function. So you can see how elements are sorted. You can see. So currently we set the delay of 100 for each animation. So you can see how the bubble sort works and how elements are swapped to each other. When greater element are find it into the next element, so it will swap the elements, and you can see the all elements are sorted. Now let's change the or increase the speed of that element. So here I change here, set the 50, and here I set the 50, and here let's set the 75 and run the application. So you can see the current speed of the our how animation work, how bubble shot work. You can see. And finished. So you can also now let's change the gap between two elements, two level elements. This is the common function, all we know how bubble shot works. You can see here the condition, and now let's sort this application, sort the algorithm. So you can see. I think without gap is better for visualization. So I just remove the this gap. You can also change the number of element here also. Now let's set the 50 elements and run the application. To is take some time to sort the element, because this is the bubble shot. We compare each and every element to each with each other, and then sort it. You can also set the speed of your animation here and short. So you can see the how multiple elements are there. So it would be a great if you use a small amount of your elements to visualize this algorithm to fast and better understand. Or also you can change the style sheet of your each label, or also you can set the apply the custom style sheet of for it. Or also you can apply the some another swapping based algorithm in this by use of this functionality to visualize this functionality how algorithms are work. So it's not just like similar Visio.net Visual Algo, but is the similar kind of functionality for it. So I hope you like this video, and this video will help you for the advanced animations. For you can also you can also say this is the advanced animation of application in our Qt application. So please like this video and share this video to your friend, and subscribe to my YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the notification of new video. And please drop your comment if you have any question. And thanks for watching my video. Thank you.